Belly Flop, where you either make a splash, an ass out of yourself, or both. I am Alex.
And I'm CW. Welcome to the show. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Belly Flop. This is CW.
Hey, this is Alex.
We're just sitting here having a beverage, going over some popular topics of the week. I mean, really, the big news, tech news, iPhone 12 came out this week. I mean, it's iPhone upgrade season. Everyone, break out your credit cards, empty your savings account. It is time for you to get the new tech.
Or do the pay for 24 months plan like I always do.
Or finance your phone about as long as your car.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Keep those monthly payments low. So this year, there's an iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Max. I will fully admit I have a bad habit of getting a new phone every year. And I've got this obsession of having a giant phone. For the 3 times a year, I actually watch a movie on my phone. Why I don't just, have an iPad all the time, that makes too much sense. Why when you can buy new stuff?
Yeah, you have everything. You've got the iPad, the Mac, all of it, Apple TV. You got it all, so you can watch it on anything.
You have to have toys.
I, on the other hand, don't upgrade every year. I'm currently on the 11. No, I think I have the 10X Max.
You should definitely hurry up with that upgrade. I mean, a 10S at this point, that is ancient technology.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my phone right now.
The sad part is, it's hard to, transition everything. It's easy to transfer everything over, but, you get used to everything being a certain way. Then you have to, log in and re-enter passwords, and hopefully you remember the passwords. And it's a process.
Yeah, it really is, because I just had to do that with my wife. We just bought her the 11 Pro Max, whatever it is, because hers quit working.
That was not by choice. Her phone literally was like, I'm done.
Yeah, it quit working. But transferring everything is it really is a pain. Getting the apps back, because I will be honest, I never back up my phones because I never hook them up to a computer ever. It's just not something that I do regularly, nor will I ever do regularly. And I'm not paying for iCloud backup. So I'm just out there hoping it doesn't crash.
And then sometimes they do.
And they do. Or you get a new one and you have to restore. You have to basically just transfer everything using, I don't know, whatever app or however you do it. I usually start over. I'm not a big... It's kind of like when you move.
You're a digital minimalist. You love to, you delete your messages. You don't keep that many pictures. You just delete, you're very, minimal tech clutter.
Just like my life. I hate clutter. Emails, text messages. If you got those little red dots on your apps, got to get rid of those. Text messages, yeah. If I haven't texted somebody in a while, I'm deleting the message. I don't need it. Doesn't need to be there.
Whereas I let them accumulate. You never know when you may need them down the road. Sometimes a client may text you or something. You need that backup information.
That is the one place I struggle with, is when I'm texting with somebody who's also a friend, but there could be business stuff in that text. I'm like, oh, I'll keep it. I just deleted 2 yesterday related to some clients that I probably should have printed or something. Mm-hmm. Just because they had some information in them that, not really that I'm worried about keeping, but just in case anything ever comes up, I can be like, look, this is what you told me. But, oh well, they're gone.
I love a good CYA moment.
Yes, those are always important.
And my cloud folders on, the different cloud apps, cloud services, have plenty of CYA folders for those exact moments.
See, I need to get better at that, a better method for how to get rid of the message, but put it somewhere where I can find it if I ever needed it. But then I'd have to clean that out every so often. It just gets too much.
All you have to do is just a screenshot, upload the picture, then delete it.
That's usually what I do when they send me stuff like that for tax season. I'll screenshot it and print it. But that's a different story. We're getting off topic here. I probably won't upgrade to the 12. Neither will my wife, because I just bought her a phone and we're still paying for it because I financed them. Her dad, I think, is still actually on the 6.
Ooh, that's vintage.
So he might be on a 7. He just doesn't want to update. Like, he doesn't want to change anything. He likes how his fits in his pocket and everything. And comparing a 6 to what we got, even the regular iPhones, the new ones, are bigger than
Yes.
the big 6s.
Well, apparently he has an option. The iPhone 12 mini is, because allegedly, like from the schematics that Apple has put out, size-wise, smaller than the base iPhone 7.
So that might work. A lot of people do like a smaller phone. I like the big phone, but I know a lot of people want the big screen, but then their hands can't.
Yes.
They can't. They have to use 2 hands to text. They
Like,
can't text
I
with
mean,
one hand.
I understand that. Like, full admission, when you're in the car and you're trying to get a message out and it just doesn't work out. And I know it's a safety violation. I apologize. Do not come at me. I know it's wrong.
Well, voice to text just isn't where it needs to be yet. So
No.
sometimes you have to do it. But yeah, like when you have bigger hands, like luckily I can reach both sides of my phone with one hand. So like I cannot text, do anything with one hand. I don't need 2. But a lot of people don't like that, But they want the bigger screen though. So even with the mini, they're still not getting the big screen.
We do a thing in my family, and I am still on a family plan. It is what it is. I will take it. It's way cheaper for me. And so like normally I get the new phone every year. I pay for the phone, and then I like pass my old phones down to my sister or my mom or whoever. And my previous phone was an iPhone XS Max, and my mom got it this past year, and she's like, I don't know if I want a giant phone. Don't know how I'm gonna feel about the screen. Yada yada yada. And it only took like 4 months of me giving her the phone to actually like transfer her stuff over, because I had to go actually do it myself. And so I asked her about 2 weeks after I set up the phone, how do you like it? And she's like, oh, I can see everything now. The screen's big. I can see she's made her text bigger. She can see everything. She's like, oh, I like this phone.
It's funny because like when I go to try to help my father-in-law with something on his phone, and like I like he unlocks it for me, and I go to do something, everything is like huge.
Yes.
You have to scroll to see something, to like read something. You actually have to scroll across.
I have some
not
coworkers
just down.
who have very large font,
Yes.
and like just saying settings takes up one entire line of their screen or something.
Yeah, it's funny.
And they're like, "What did I do?" And I'm like, first off, I can't do this.
Well, the mini may be a good option. I don't know. We'll see. He just has been reluctant to upgrade, and I know my wife's not going to let me upgrade anytime soon. But the big, what are the big differences? I mean, what are you thinking is going to be important?
They say it's a faster processor. Screen is supposed to be better. Not necessarily from a resolution standpoint, but there's a ceramic shield coating, a special glass they developed with Corning, I believe.
Well, and they went to all versions are getting OLED.
All versions have OLED screens now.
LCDs.
They have the same resolution, so there's no difference between a 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max, just in screen size. But the kicker this year, even though the prices have varied a little bit between the years, there are no charge plugs in the box, and there are no earbuds in the box anymore.
Well, and the charge plug that you have won't work either because it's using USB-C.
Right. They are giving you a Lightning to USB-C cable now instead of the USB-A to Lightning cable.
And I think the new charging cables, or the Cube, is going to be like $35 or something, but you got to order it yourself.
I think you can actually get it for like 19 maybe or something.
Okay. I thought I saw 35 somewhere,
But it's like, even like my car now. My car has USB-C ports.
and I think most people are, especially with like basically from the 10 on, or maybe the 8 on, you've had wireless charging.
Yes.
And as people get to that, it's so much easier just to lay your phone down. Now that needs to get a little bit better. I know my 10, you have to lay it down specifically.
Yes, that is a thing with most wireless chargers and all phones, is you have to lay them a very specific way. But there are some wireless chargers out now that use this technology where basically the charger detects where your phone is and will align the magnets to connect with your phone no matter how you set it down.
So like a mat that adjusts to wherever you lay the phone down and picks it up. Like I know in my truck, Jessica bought me a replacement for the center console, like on the top piece. Mm-hmm. There was a little tray. Well, somebody made a wireless charger. Like you can do it yourself, jerry rig it, but somebody actually made one, and it holds the 10s Max perfectly, so it's always in the right spot, so it charges. It's perfect. But yeah, that's like on my nightstand. We have like the little discs.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll set your phone down, you wake up, it didn't charge. It's because so like now I have to make sure I hear it vibrate to let me know it's charging. But so that's one thing I hope they maybe will start improving.
Well, they also came out this year with Magsafe. My previous MacBook had a Magsafe connector before they went to USB-C, and so like whenever you like caught the cable, it was attached magnetically, so they would fall off.
It wouldn't break.
It would not drag your laptop to the floor or whatever.
Or break the
break the
USB port off in the.
Yes. Well, they brought back Magsafe to basically they brought out their own charger. Cases, chargers, and everything that have the new iPhone 12 has a magnet attached or in the back of it that will connect to this charger specifically and do fast charging that way.
Like a wireless charger?
Wireless charger.
Okay.
And they also have created cases that have the magnets built in that will also attach to the phone and the charger. And you can even buy accessories like a wallet attachment for the back of the case that will attach to the case, which attaches to the phone.
Which still charges.
And it will still do its thing.
Awesome. So charging has improved.
Yes.
The other things that have improved have been the camera.
Yes.
On the Pro, I think, well, they've added the LiDAR to the Pro models. It's basically the same camera setup with different aperture from the Pro 11 Pro, but all the cameras have the cameras from the 11 Pro, just not the LiDAR. And they only have two cameras for the mini and the regular.
Yes.
3 cameras.
But they've improved those and they've added night mode to those.
Yeah, they've made those the 11 Pro cameras.
And it's really crazy now. Like I remember like back in the day, I remember last episode we talked about the Motorola Razr and how the pictures now are basically like blurbs of color and that's about it.
That's what you see when somebody's trying to find. Do you know this person on the camera?
Yes.
It's like that bad of a quality picture.
But now it's the technology has come such a way to where like the sensors themselves are changing a little bit, but the software is what is actually making the photos so much better. I mean, a few weeks ago, I was on vacation at Hilton Head, and I went out to the beach in like complete darkness, and using Apple Night Mode, like it literally picked up like a little bit of moonlight. It brightened everything. It looked as though it was like a dusk picture, and it's kind of freaky how just a software code on a phone can do that.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I've seen some of those where somebody takes something pitch black, but it looks like it was taken during the day.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
And it's I have a Google Pixel that does a very similar thing.
It's automatic too, which is crazy. Well, then the next thing, they've embraced 5G.
Yep.
Which I don't know if we even have it here.
We have 5G. If you have AT&T here,
you got 5G.
You have 5G.
Not T-Mobile.
T-Mobile has 5G, but their 5G is allegedly different than what AT&T
it's supposed to be better if you
Verizon are produced. I don't know. It's all marketing. I mean, everything's marketing.
It's all the same product. That's the problem. Well, that's good. I won't have a 5G phone for probably 2 more years because I won't upgrade. But, well, that's what's new with the iPhone. There's also the new phone out.
You've been interested in another phone lately.
Yeah. So you keep seeing these ads, and I have one of my buddy's wives works with Sprint, and I saw her, or I guess that's T-Mobile now, but I saw her post a Instagram story setting up the new it's an Android, but the new Samsung Z Fold2, which looks cool to me, but I'm just not sure practicality how it's going to work, because when you see it closed, it's like 2 iPhones put together, so it's very thick.
And that was a controversial phone when it first came out. Like they sent prototype units or test units to the tech websites like The Verge and CNET. I remember one of the guys at Dieter at The Verge actually, because they came with a attached screen protector out of the box, and it just looked like a plastic film, and he tried to peel it off, and the whole thing crashed.
You ruined it.
And you ruined the phone. And then some of them had dust underneath the got dust underneath the hinge, and it was like poking up through the
The
screen.
fold of the screen when you closed it.
And the prototype was apparently a cluster. And they sent out the actual production unit, and they were fairly popular, fairly well received because they had taken an extra like couple months to figure out the issues. Now they're out with Gen 2, so hopefully they have fixed any issues that existed. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, it just looks like a giant, thick phone that's going to be in your... I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like as thick as a Nokia brick phone was, but it's the size of an
It's like
11S
it's like
Pro
an
Max
8-inch
or
screen or
It's a
something.
Galaxy
and you
Note.
Fully open it up.
Yeah, and then the phone, like when it's folded over, it's as big as like an iPhone, but as thick as like the old Nokia bricks, which were like an inch thick.
Yeah.
And then the
They
other
have
problem,
to make room for the hinge mechanism, which is the...
the other problem is how's a case going to work on that? It's going to have to be some fancy, convoluted, especially one that's like supportive, like actually protects it, because it's going to have a silicone piece around the hinged part to where it can open and close, or it'll have to be like some big bulky brick thing. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, and you're definitely not wanting to drop that phone.
No, I mean it's not that expensive though. It's only $1,000.
$1,400?
$999. Well, if you go to one of the carriers, you can get
Okay.
it for like $999. They're still doing subsidized in the
I was
US.
going to say, yeah, the Galaxy Z Fold2 is from $999.
Yeah, so the base model,
Or
$999.
$20.83 for 48 months. Oh, that's $999 with eligible trade-in.
Okay, which they'll take an iPhone, guaranteed.
Oh, I'm sure they
They would
will.
love to get that trade.
But let's see what the
So I'm just curious. It looks cool.
$1,350. Otherwise,
I just think
starting
the
out.
foldable screen is still like such a cool thing. I still don't think we're quite
No,
there.
I think it's still a very niche
Because like I
product.
think you said to me the other day, like you can still see a slight ridge when it's unfolded. Like
Yeah.
it's just the natural bend in the screen there where it's going to be where the hard fold is when it's fully closed. It's going to have a natural curve and it's going to distort that part of the screen forever.
And the screens are so like thin and sensitive because they have to be.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
just
they're the organic LEDs, so it's a good screen.
yes.
And that's
Samsung makes amazing
the
displays.
and OLED is the only way they're able to do this. To fold the screen.
Yes.
You can't do it with regular. They just snap in half.
Right.
They're
Glass.
regular LEDs glass. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because I think a lot of people will like the fact that they're going to have a phone with a full screen on the outside and basically a tablet
on the inside.
all for one price.
Although I do enjoy there's the Motorola Razr, which is I believe a 5G folding screen flip phone. And I mean, I know if there are any like younger, like technically we're millennials, but we're the Zennials.
Yeah, the Zennials is after us. We're the end of the.
They were the very beginning of the millennial generation, the beginning of Gen X, or the end of Gen X, beginning of
Millennial. And then, yeah.
And so, anyone younger listening to this podcast, you do not know the joy of being pissed off at somebody and having a flip phone.
So you can slam it
And
shut.
you slam it shut as an indication of just how pissed you really are at the person.
Well, it's just like now that you have like a real job, or an actual job where you have like a desk phone, and when you're done talking to a client, you can like slam it down and
Yes.
just bash it against the actual phone piece. Now, don't do that if you have a real expensive phone, but I mean, you can just really hang that thing up.
Yes. Hang it up and be like, dumbass.
Yes.
Done.
You can't really do that with an iPhone.
No.
You can hammer that button. It's not even a button. You can't even push it. You don't even get any feedback.
No. You get like nothing. And if you get feedback, you've just cost yourself $1,000 screen.
Yes. No, I get it. It's flip phones were a thing, and I did love them.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about it all the time. I would love to go back to the Nokia brick.
Oh,
just
no,
Snake. That's it.
I can't.
It's the only
Sorry.
thing I can play on there is Snake, and then talk to people on the phone.
Can't do it.
T9 texting.
Oh, Lord, no. I know.
Can't go back to the T9.
Can't
You gotta
do
have
it.
the full keyboard.
Can't do it. Now, I will go back. I had a BlackBerry back in the day through an internship. It was the Blueberry. It was the blue BlackBerry. And I would go back to that thing in a heartbeat with that old school like keyboard on it.
See, I never got into
You had
the
to have
Blackberries.
BlackBerry Messenger and
I never got into that. I had
love
one.
that. I mean,
I had
that-
one of those, and I had a Palm Trio.
kids. This was before the iPhone. The iPhone came out in 2007.
I had that. I had a BlackBerry at one point. I don't remember which one. And then it had a Palm Trio as well. Which the Palm Trio was just a personal. It was like a
PDA with
what they
a
were
phone
called.
magically
That was like
thrown
the
into it.
precursor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the early PDA phone combinations.
Yes.
And then the BlackBerry came out, and that kind of. Remember that BlackBerry was like the big government phone.
PDA, yeah. The BlackBerry was like, Beyonce and Jay-Z used to talk about it in their old school songs. Blueberry still connects. Yeah, it used to be like my internship was a political internship. So like you had the BlackBerry, like that's what they gave you. That's all you used. It was secure. It was encrypted. And I believe up until probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago, that's what the federal government still gave to people.
Yeah, it hasn't been long. They were who were keeping BlackBerry alive.
Yes.
But then they went to iPhone.
And yeah, now
they can control iPhone. Too.
Yes.
Well, I think that's enough about the iPhone and the Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really a tech review blog, but I mean, if Apple, Samsung, any of you guys are listening to this, we are open to review a test unit. Just send it our way.
We will become a review blog if somebody's going to pay us to do it.
I can give you an honest opinion.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Enough technology. We're back in the holiday season of Halloween. And it is the time of year where you cannot watch TV late at night if you are easily scared because it is scary movie season.
Yes, it is. Some scary. Some Halloweens are scary. Some Halloween movies are scary. Some of them aren't. But,
some are not.
But that gets you thinking, like, what are the... I don't watch a whole lot of them now. I felt like I used to watch a lot more when I was younger.
Yes.
I just don't feel... I don't know. I'm not drawn to horror
No,
films.
I don't really watch horror movies now.
I think I watched them younger because I was usually watching them with a girl. You're trying to get clothes. And
in your house, you have kids, so you probably can't really just turn on a horror movie, out of the blue to...
I should do that.
Yeah, maybe it'll make your kids listen.
It'd get them out of my hair. They'd run away screaming.
As they go in their room and hide.
But no, yeah, I don't watch a whole lot. But it is that time of year, so let's discuss. I've got a list here from Rotten Tomatoes. It covers the top 100 horror movies per movie critics.
Okay.
Now, each movie has to have at least 40 reviews to be included in this list.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do the top 10 from this list. And this is per critics, so don't shoot the messenger. We've got Us, which came out in 2019. That's number 1. Then you've got, which I don't really understand how it's number 1 because it's only a 93% tomato meter. Maybe the tomato meter's the fans? I don't know. Either way. Us, then it goes to Get Out, which just came out. A Quiet Place, which just came out in 2018. Then it goes all the way back to 1920 for The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's an old school black and white. I'm assuming it may even be a silent film. Then you've got King Kong, which to me isn't really a horror film, but I guess in 1933 that would be horrific.
I was going to say, yeah, in 1933, a giant ape coming and terrorizing your city
probably counts as a horror movie.
Then you've got Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, which is one I've always wanted to watch, but I'm not a big black and white fan, and that's from like 1922. Then you got Psycho, which I have seen. The Bride of Frankenstein, The Babadook, which came out in 2014, and then Frankenstein in 1931. That's the top 10.
Maybe you should watch The Babadook with your kids because I believe it's about a children's storybook character that comes to life.
That would be freaky.
I mean, and your kids have watched some weird stuff. And
if any of them came to life, I would be scared to death. Pinky Malinky. The talking sausage.
The talking sausage. If I walk in your house and he's haunting the house, I'm gone. I'm leaving.
You're out. So that's per critics. And I know you had a list here.
So I'm on IndieWire.com, another good website, and they have listed around 110 of the top horror movies. Some I've heard of, some I've not. Several I've watched. They start out with number 10, Night of the Living Dead, which I have watched. Number 9 is Alien by Ridley Scott in 1979. Sigourney Weaver. I have watched this back in the day. I never really thought of like sci-fi as being a horror movie. But Jaws is also on this list. So I guess anything that makes you fearful. I mean, Think of how many people do not swim in the ocean because they have watched Jaws.
Yes. And when Aliens came out in the 70s, right? Late 70s?
79.
Okay, 79. Aliens coming to Earth would have been a scary ass thing.
Yes.
Especially the alien in that movie.
Yes.
But I remember watching that movie as a kid, and it was scary even 20 years later, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is one that definitely is a horror film. Even though it's sci-fi, it's a horror sci-fi film.
Yes.
For sure.
Like it's not a peaceful alien movie. It is you're going to die.
Most alien movies aren't peaceful.
True. Good point. Number 8 on this list is The Thing from 1982. Number 7 is Eyes Without a Face from 1960.
And the still clip of that is just
The
creepy
picture
looking.
alone that they're showing right now is very, very weird. I will not be watching that. If anyone has watched that, feel free to send us a note and let us know what it's about. Number 6, Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock from 1960. I have watched that. It's a good movie. I've watched the remake. Remake was pretty okay. The original, I mean, it's hard to beat an original Hitchcock movie.
Well, don't they have a show out?
I believe they did have a show out
Psycho
too.
too? That's the first one on the 2 lists.
Number 5, Halloween.
That was
John
a-
Carpenter, 1978.
Great scary movie.
Yes. Jamie Lee Curtis, perfect.
Yes.
Number 4 is The Exorcist from 1973. I mean, anyone listening right now, you knew that movie was going to be on the list.
Had to.
It is the quintessential scary movie. Number 3 is Rosemary's Baby from 1968. I have never watched this. I just read the synopsis. I will probably not watch it.
I've seen clips.
That's enough. Number 2 is the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I've seen the original. Mm-hmm. I've also seen the remake.
Yep.
It is a scary movie.
It introduces the world to Leatherface.
Yeah, it's a suspense thriller.
Yes.
Because, like, you kind of obviously know what's happening from the name.
And number 1 is one of my favorite movies, The Shining.
It's a classic.
It is a classic. Jack Nicholson, isolation at its finest. I mean, you're snowed in Colorado at the hotel. You're in a haunted area, like you become possessed or whatever is going on. I mean, and literally your family is running from you.
I've never seen the movie yet.
It is a great movie.
I need to watch it. I mean, I know a ton about it, like Red Rum we were talking about a little bit ago. And then, here comes, where he cracks open the bathroom door and he sticks, here's Johnny.
Yeah.
You know all of these classic lines from that movie, but I've never watched it.
I remember going in college with a group of people to one of the old theaters downtown. And they were showing the old Halloween movies. Like every week they would show a different movie. And The Shining was one they showed like very close to Halloween. And it was great. It was perfect.
Just a call back from last episode.
Giant screen.
Theaters are dead.
Theaters are dead, yes.
But
I mean, this theater ended up going out of business very shortly, like back in the day.
Yeah, now it's a church, right?
And now it's a church, yeah.
I think that could be a way theaters could come back.
Yeah, true.
Showing those classic movies. People love those things.
There's also a comedy club in our community that is now a church.
Yes. Well, I mean, is it still a church? I know it was a church.
Yeah, I think it's still a church. Now, you have a list of Halloween movies that you personally.
So since we were going to talk about this, I came up with my 10, and then I had to add an extra one. So it's my top 10 plus one, not in any particular order. I didn't take that much effort into this. This is just a podcast. Come on. I'm not getting a grade for this. Hopefully you'll like it, but I only ranked ones that I've seen and could remember seeing and watching. So just in no particular order, I've got Scream, which came out in 96, that movie I remember and was creepy. The phone calls, all that crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Halloween, which I already talked about. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. The Ring.
Now that movie was weird.
It's just a creepy movie.
That movie was okay. That was weird. Moving on.
Blair Witch Project.
Okay, I remember getting freaked out by that.
Psycho, which we talked about. American Psycho.
Yes.
Which is more of a serial killer thriller.
I went to the theater and watched that movie with a friend and her dad. And I mean, it was one of those situations where you didn't know exactly what the movie was, but you went and watched it anyway. Yeah, it was definitely not a movie you wanted to watch with someone's dad.
Well, then didn't that launch his career?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a good movie. But then I put The Mist,
Okay.
which came out in, I don't know, the 2000s sometime. The Exorcist, which is just a quintessential horror film.
Classic.
Final Destination.
Okay, that movie has screwed an entire generation of people.
Yeah, nobody wants to drive behind a logging truck,
No.
ride a Ferris wheel, do anything.
And I remember there was a scene where the one kid, well, the one character, I say kid, the one character missed his flight, and the plane exploded upon takeoff. And I remember like watching that, going, "I'm never going to fly."
And now you fly all the time.
And now I fly all the time. I love it. Put me on a plane, I'm happy. But it totally freaked me out for a while.
And then my plus one was The Invisible Man with Kevin Bacon. Not the original. I think that was the title, right?
Yes.
I know there was original back in like the 30s, but the one with Kevin Bacon, and I could be totally off base because it was a long time ago, but I remember him being painted like a brick wall and you not being able to see him until like the girl shows up in the room or something. I don't know. That just creeped me out because he blended in so well and I just didn't see how that was possible.
I remember watching Poltergeist. I love that movie. That's still one of my favorite movies. It's on a lot of the Halloween lists. You have some of the other scary movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I think some of us talked about with me the other day with Jennifer Love. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ryan Phillippe.
That was a creepy movie
Yes.
too. That came out in like the late 90s.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a creepy one. It's one of those things, like my memory is terrible. So unless I see it or see like the title, it's really hard for me just to recall the movies I've seen. But like I can picture a few, I just literally can't come up with the name.
I just remember Poltergeist because I loved it. I like The Shining. Also, we were talking about this earlier. The 1992 Dracula with Keanu Reeves and I believe Gary Oldman as Dracula. That movie was very sexualized version of Dracula from back in the... Either way, I remember not really technically being allowed to watch it, but the joy of cable back in the day was that if you had HBO in your house and you had a TV in your bedroom, you got HBO.
Yes. Back before the cable boxes and all that fancy stuff. Well, so that's horror movies. You know, there's also some classic Halloween related movies that aren't horror. They're Halloween related.
Oh my God, are you mentioning Hocus Pocus right now?
Absolutely.
I feel like you're going for Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is the #1 Halloween non-horror movie of all time.
Okay, it's not horrible.
Okay, then you've got movies like Casper, The Friendly Ghost,
Yes.
The Addams Family.
Okay,
which was a great movie.
I love The Addams Family.
You know, the one that everybody watches, I think TBS plays it all the time. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, I forgot about that. Some Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The Haunted Mansion.
Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Okay, I love some Beetlejuice.
Monster House.
I don't remember.
I never saw that one. It's a kid's movie, it looks like. The Goonies.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know. That's kind of Halloween. It happened around, I don't know.
It's just a classic anyway.
E.T.
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
Okay,
You know,
Ghostbusters
there's
are
some
good.
classic Halloween-related non-horror films, though.
Okay, but I will say, like, we're talking about classics, and a lot of those are child-friendly. One movie I forgot to mention that freaks me out, we discussed earlier, Strangers.
So I've never seen it.
It literally is about 3 people who force their way in on a couple in a remote cabin, and spoiler alert, when the victims are asking why they're being, tortured and killed by these people, the answer is because you were home. I mean, give me a damn zombie any day of the week that you can just shoot in the head and take care of.
Yeah, that's creepy. I mean, because that could happen to anybody.
Anywhere.
Oh. Yeah, that's
And as the
something
time
scary.
is about to change, remember that when you're like, It's dark at 6 p.m.
You're
You hear a
home
knock on the
alone.
door.
Yeah. Nobody knocks on the door. Social distancing.
Yeah.
But
Get your gun.
I don't know. But
I'm
Hocus
sorry, get on your Ring doorbell and see who's at the door.
Yes. But Hocus Pocus is great. Hopefully you like it.
Oh,
I don't
Hocus
know.
Pocus is
Who
not a bad
doesn't?
movie.
I mean, the acting is horrendous.
It's Disney. I mean, what is there not to like about Disney?
But it's got Bette Midler and she sings. That's a winning
Sarah
combination.
Michelle Gellar.
No.
Yeah.
No. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker, yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker.
A slutty Sarah Jessica
Yes.
Parker.
And then...
And actually like a rapey one because all she wants is like boys. Which is kind of creepy when you think about it. But
And then the... is it Kathy Najimy, maybe, from Sister Act?
that's the other sister?
I think it's the other sister.
Yeah, the other Sanderson sister. Yeah.
Also, Sister Act. Underrated movie.
Yeah, so the Sanderson sister. Oh, Jessica and I watched it with Parker hates it. He doesn't really like it. Jessica absolutely loves it.
I can see
I
Jessica.
like it.
Yeah, Kathy Najimy.
I'm not going to admit that I love it, but I like it.
Oh, I can see your wife curling up with her new big blanket,
We did that the other day.
watching Hocus Pocus, and magically a pumpkin spice latte appears out of nowhere. I'm sorry, pumpkin spice cold brew, because she's changed.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened because I drove all over God's green earth to get her one last week on her birthday. And I get home and we end up watching Hocus Pocus, and Grayson watches it, and he's actually like hooked. He's into it, so he actually liked it. But I don't know. It's her favorite Halloween movie for sure.
I mean, it's not bad. It's
She's
kid
not
friendly.
She's not a scary movie person.
Yeah.
You also got Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah.
Those were always Halloween kind of spooky ghosts. Wasn't for those meddling kids.
It wasn't for those meddling kids and that pesky dog.
Yep.
Speaking of pesky dog, if anyone hears any panting or random noises, we have a golden retriever in the room here that does not believe in social distancing.
No, he likes to be all up in your business.
He thinks that he should be the center of attention at all times.
We should have just called it the Knox Podcast.
We could probably do that. Hashtag golden retriever, get more listens.
Hey, that's right.
But guys, it's been a good episode. It's probably time for us to wrap it up.
If you like the episode, if you like the show so far, subscribe, rate, review. It
Please-
helps out the podcast, helps us out.
Please leave comments on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen at. That way we get some feedback, see what everyone wants to listen to.
Interact with us on Instagram, Twitter,
Yep.
hopefully Facebook soon.
And all the socials. Yeah, we need to do Facebook. Maybe after the election season.
Yes. But we'll see you next week.
Take care.